The eye popper on Sunday for sure wasn't even the Meyer trade. It was the Tanner Jeannot trade, right? He goes from Nashville to the Tampa Bay Lightning. What was your initial thought? And obviously, you're really, really tied in throughout the league. What are people saying about it?
You made the point, okay? Who's going to argue with what Julian Brisbois has done, right? And I'm not,
True. Yeah.
no offense, but I mean, I thought it was a lot. But Tanner Jeannot for me is like, there's only like 4 or 5 players like him in the entire league, right? He's a bit of a unicorn. And I mean, this year his play's fallen off, but it's not too often you get a guy that skates that well, that plays that physical game, and he does it in a 6'4", whatever, 215-pound rig. So it's not news I would want to hear if I'm the Toronto Maple Leafs. I think, and he's not a rental, right? So there's a lot for me to like about it in the future, and if he can get his game back, and the caliber of players that they're probably going to play him with in Tampa Bay is going to allow him to get around that net. I think he's one of the guys whose shooting percentage went from, it's almost dropped like something like 17 percentage points from last year, where I think he scored 24 goals. So for me, let's just cut it in half and say his shooting percentage is somewhere in the middle of those two things. You're getting a tiger. This guy he's a mean dude who plays, and he's got captain background. I mean, I know he was a huge piece of his Western Hockey League team, and everybody raved about him. And he's one of those stories. I think if you think he was undrafted, it's almost like a Mark Giordano story as far as his road to the National Hockey League. And I think you throw someone like that in that lineup, you're like, this is going to be something to watch. This is really going to be something to watch, because the depth is very similar. I mean, you got to stay healthy, but you look at that against what the Leafs have depth up front, makes the Ryan O'Reilly trade that much more critical.